Welcome to the first video with Mrs. Ayers and Mrs. Landon. You should be on page 16, problem number 1. May the best recipe win. Each year, your class presents its mathematics portfolio to parents and community members. This year, your homeroom is in charge of refreshments for the reception that follows the presentation. 4 students in the class give the recipes for a punch. The class wants to analyze the recipe to determine which one has the strongest grapefruit flavor and which one makes the strongest lemon lime soda flavor. The recipe is shown below. The first question says, how many total parts are in each person's recipe? So if Adam has 4 parts lemon lime soda and 8 parts grapefruit flavor, remember, total means add. 4 plus 8 is 12. So Adam has 12 total parts. Then if Bobby's recipe has 3 total parts lemon lime and 5 parts grapefruit, then total he has 8 total parts. Now it's your turn to figure out how many total parts Carlos and Zeb have for their recipes. Question 2. For each recipe, write a ratio that compares the number of parts of grapefruit juice to the total parts in each recipe, and if possible, simplify. So in Adam's recipe, he had how many parts grapefruit? He had 8 parts grapefruit juice. To how many total? Well, we figured that in question number 1, and that was 12. So of course we have 8 twelfths, and we want to simplify that. So what goes into making 8 that also goes into making 12, which is 4. So we're going to divide each one by 4. So 8 divided by 4 equals 2, and 12 divided by 4 equals 3. And of course we want to label our answer, so that is 2. I'm going to run out of room. Parts grapefruit, and I'm just going to say GF. So 3 parts, or 3 total parts. You need to now figure out Bobby's, Carlos, and Zeb's on your own. Good luck! Next question, number 3. Which recipe will make the punch with the strongest grapefruit taste? Explain how you determined your answer. So we have to use our answers that we got from question 2. And if we want to compare these fractions, which these are the 4 fractions that we should have gotten from question 2, how do we compare fractions if they're all different denominators? Should we find a common denominator? So we have to think what would be the common denominator between 3, 8, and 5. And we know if we can't find the least common denominator, we can always multiply all of these together. So our common denominator between these 3 values would be 120. So we have to rewrite each one of our fractions to have a new denominator of 120. So let's do that. Then we learn to scale up, and we say, well, 3 goes into 3 times what gives us 120? 40. And then 2 times 40. I'm sorry, I forgot to put it down here. If you can read that. 2 times 40 then is 80. So next we go to Bobby. And if Bobby, his fraction was 5 to 8, and rewrite that one. Again, having 120 as our denominator, and we're scaling up. 8 times what gives us 120? 15. then we scale up on here and multiply by 15. And that should give us 75. Now it is your turn to complete Carlos and Zeb's. Remember, you have a new denominator of 120. Scale up for each one. So now you have finished all of your fractions and you have the same denominator, the common denominator, and you rewrote your fractions by scaling up. If we look at our four new fractions, 80 over 120, 75 over 120, 72, that is 2 over 120, and 96 over 120. We have to determine which one has the strongest grapefruit flavor. So the strongest grapefruit flavor would be the one that has the largest numerator. So this looks like Zeb's recipe. Zeb has 96 over 120. 96 is the largest numerator. So make sure that you have explained exactly who has the strongest grapefruit flavor in a nice complete sentence. Moving on to question 4. For each recipe, write a rate. Well, actually, that should say a ratio. And I don't have any room to write that, but that's a no-no. It should be a ratio that compares the number of parts of lemon lime to the total parts in each recipe. If possible, simplify. So this is the same process that we did for question 2. Question 2, we referred to the grapefruit juice. Now we're doing lemon lime. So if we refer back to Adam's recipe, Adam had 4 parts lemon lime soda. Out of his total 12 parts. So this was lemon lime. I'm going to put LL. Oh, that doesn't look like LL. Sorry. Alright, so this might look a little bit neater. You should have 4 parts lemon lime. So again, I tried to make 2 L's there. If you could go ahead and write that out as lemon lime. 4 parts lemon lime out of his total of 12 parts. So then your job is to now finish this out. Oh wait, we have to look. Did we simplify? No. So 4 twelfths needs to be simplified. We say what goes in making 4, that also goes in making 12. 4. So we need to divide each one by 4. So 4 goes into 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. And again, we need to put our labels on there. So 1 part lemon lime. Do L's. 2, 3 total parts. Now it's your job to go ahead and finish out Bobby's, Carlos, and Zeb's recipes and figure out how much lemon lime to their total. And put your labels. Alright, so you should have finished up question number 4 and figured out Bobby's, Carlos, and Zeb's recipe for lemon lime. And they should be in simplified form and should have labels like this. So, knowing that information, the question number 5 says, which recipe will make the punch the strongest lemon lime soda flavor? Explain how you determined your answer. So question 5 is just like question 3, except we are dealing with the lemon lime instead of the grapefruit juice. So again, when we look at our 4 simplified fractions, 1/3, 3/8, 2/5, and 1/5, we have to determine and compare which one has the strongest lemon lime flavor. So with that, we have to again find a common denominator. We're dealing with 3, 5, 8. Same as we were in question 3. So what's our common denominator, everybody? Good job for saying 120. I'm so proud of you. So again, you need to rewrite your fractions and use 120 as your denominator. label your answers, and please explain how you determined your answer. Give me the person's name and your final answer. Do it now. All right, you're almost done. You've already written down your 4 new fractions with your common denominator of 120. After looking at those, you should have found that who had the largest lemon lime soda flavor? Carlos! Yes, Carlos has the strongest lemon lime soda flavor because 48 over 120 is larger than 4/120th, and 45 over 120 and 24 over 120. So Carlos has the strongest lemon lime flavor. Of course you wrote that in a nice complete sentence, and of course it's much neater than this looks. So you are now finished with your first video notes. Bring this to class tomorrow and we will go over it in class together. Good job!